Hello, we have seen resiliency and responsiveness in action. And last but not least, let's take a look at the code. This component corresponds to the model I showed you earlier. It handles client-specific behavior, like initializations and setting up URLs. Speaking of URLs, I have centralized them in an app setting file, and the base URLs are adjusted per environment. For example, here we have these URLs that are on localhost environment, but for prod environment, we have this one. Now, back to our component, we can see it inherits from base modal component, which itself inherits from base component. I designed it like that because the logic of retrieving tokens, fetching data, or even submit changes are shared across multiple components. In this way, I keep the code clean and consistent. Now, let me walk you through the client flow, but this time from localhost. The local Angular app is listening on port 4200. Let's go to the browser. And here we go. It automatically redirects us to the identity server. And as we can see, in localhost, this identity server listens on this port. So let's log in. Let's edit the client. And here we go. This is the model I showed you earlier. Just like I did before, I'm going to change this client image, but this time from localhost. Before hitting on save, let me show you here I have document manager and here identity server API. Both are running from Visual Studio. Let me hit on save. The client data was sent to the identity server API. Data was validated, and eventually we create an edit client command. The client command is dispatched, and after that we check whether an image is attached or not. This time an image is attached, so we are going to trigger the background task, and immediately we return success result to the browser. At this point, the client is not blocked anymore, so the user can continue working. But here is the background task in Document Manager API. Let's stop this service and see what happens. This will continue retrying and we'll come back here to this breakpoint after some seconds. Let's wait for it. Here we are back after some seconds. Now is when we send the failure to the client to update the model. Let's hit here and see the client was updated with no response. Now I'm going to pause the video, bring Document Manager back online, and then come back to see a succeeded scenario. Here we are again with Document Manager back online. Let's stop it now. Let it for some seconds. And now let's bring it back online and see what's going to happen. Once it was online again, the breakpoint was hit. That is because our service, our background task, was retrying until this succeeds or it finally fails. But for this time, let's continue with it and see what's going to happen. Now, back on Identity Server API, we have a consumer that consumes the message, meaning that the document was uploaded successfully. This updates the URL of the client and then notify via Singular to the client to say the document was processed successfully. Let's see how we update the URL from the modal. Here we go. It was updated. And that's it. We have just seen resiliency and responsiveness from our local environment. And that was done leveraging the .NET Fire and Forget background task and configuring resiliency policies. By the way, we use the poly library. We saw how the modal was not blocked and stayed smooth for the user. And also we saw how we recovered gratefully from failure. If you would like to know more about how I'm handling on a specific part, please, I will be happy to dive deeper. Thank you for watching.